I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone in whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the brothers who pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the four corners of the earth to wake up the elect and to the elect. Shalom. I want to go into the topic of more than one woman will have one husband. More than one woman will only have one husband. All right. And we already know in today's society it don't work that way because of how this devil have it set up, right? And a lot of these women have been westernized, right? About this Western culture, their Western belief, right? Like their ideology or philosophy that they have on life and what they believe in, right? But the scriptures go against everything they believe in. Hey, this devil go against everything the scriptures say, right? This devil want control over everything and everybody, all right? This is why they don't want, especially an Israelite man, the Latinos, Negroes, and Native American, to have more than one wife, because they know if a man have more than one wife, that's more than one income. Just a man and multiple women bringing in multiple income, then they'll have uh, a bigger finance. They'll have more financially. All right. And they don't want that, right? You can't even travel without going through the government. You can't eat without going through the government and being taxed, right? You can't live without being taxed. They want control over everything and everybody, and this is how they keep people in subjection, and especially keeping the Israelites docile, man. But this is why I have Isaiah the 4th chapter, 1st verse, and we just gonna jump straight into it. Which reads, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." All right. See, in that time, during the time of Jacob's trouble, there's going to be a lot of people dying. A lot of Israelites are going to be dying. A lot of men is going to be dying. All right. And even in the wars that's coming, there's going to be a lot of death, man. The scriptures talks about it. The scriptures talks about a lot of death. And this is why a lot of women is going to be grabbing hold of one man, because they're going to want a man and they're going to want childbearing, right? They're going to want barrenness. This is what women live for. That is what they was made for, to nurture. All right. And just to back that up, let's get let's do Jeremiah first. Jeremiah 30:7. All right. Just because I spoke about Jacob's trouble. He said, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." So it's going to be a time like never before. It's going to get real devastating. All right. There's going to be pestilence. There's going to be war, famine, right? A lot of death, man. And a lot of women is not going to be able to take care of themselves. A lot of women, a lot. So they're going to need a man for that security. All right, they're going to need a man for protection. This is Isaiah. I think that's the 25th chapter. Oh, no, it's the third chapter and 25th verse. This is Isaiah the 3rd chapter, 25th verse. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. All right. So a lot of men is going to die in war, man, and Jacob's trouble. And if a lot of men is and the world is already overpopulated or imbalance, right? There's more women than men already. So once shit hits the fans and all hell breaks loose, these women is going to be by themselves, man. No one to protect them, no security. All right. And this is what's going to lead up to Isaiah 4:1. 7 women shall grab a hold of one man. All right. They're going to have to throw away all that jealousy and envy. Right. Well, because that envy is what's going to bring them to that man, because they're going to see all these other women, right, with men, with security, protection, providing, and they're going to be left out, and they're not going to want that, man. Hey, you already have women who already be with, a man that have a woman, right? You already have time. That's why women mess with men and why, the married men, they don't, some women don't even care about that, man, as long as they with that man. And it's going to become time like that sooner or later, man. Very soon, actually. All right. But this is one of the reasons the women is going to grab a hold of one man. More than one woman is going to grab a hold of one man. All right. Now let's go to that word reproach. Because they said we'll eat our own bread and wear our own clothes. We eat our own food. We make our own food and wear our own clothes. Just take away our reproach. And reproach, you go into shame. We're going to read it. It's karpal. And the Hebrew word is kapal. Right? It says katumli disgrace, the padinda, rebuke, reproach, fully, shame. Reproach, scorn, taunt, scorn upon enemy, reproach, resting upon condition of shame, disgrace. A reproach, right? So it's basically shame, man. All right? Women is going to be shameful that they don't have a husband and can't bear children. All right. When you go to the root word is karaf. Karaf is, let me see how they pronounce it.
Strong's H2778. Charaf.
And that goes into to acquire, be betrothed. All right, that's crazy. I didn't even know. I know that the first meaning of the Hebrew word kapal, but karaf goes into to acquire, to be betrothed. When you go look up betrothed, all right, to the person to whom one is engaged. All right. See, a woman going to want to be engaged, but they're going to want a husband, man. They're going to want bearing children, man. All right. This is what they're going to want, man. See, it's in our culture to do so, man. It's basically a commandment. It's in like a covenant. The scriptures say, "Be fruitful and multiply," right? And how can a man multiply with a woman? All right. The woman is a helpmeet, right? To help meet that man goal, her husband goals, right? So that woman is gonna need a man, right? For security, protection. Hey, do you know once once a man die and a wife is left, they get social security is called what is it called let's see. I know I looked it up. Let's see. What is it called? Let's see. Let me do. Yeah. That's a word I'm looking for. They get a SSI check for when a husband has been deceased. All right, because one of the reasons they women generally outlive the man. All right, and that it let alone creates imbalance. That's why in China, a woman is basically a disgrace to her family if she don't find a husband between the age of 20 and their late 20s. You know, that's why they start to marry, early in their, life, because they don't want to be looked down. They don't want to be frowned upon for not having a husband, right? Because it's like a disrespect to their family to basically, have their legacy to live on. But I believe it's called something, I forgot, but I can't figure out the name right now. But they do get an SSI for they from their husbands when they deceased, right? Because they need that income, because the man is the provider, you know. So this is why even in our let's go to it. Genesis 30, I think 25, 24, 25. Is it? I think is it Genesis 30? Let's see. Bear with me for a second. Here we go. Because Rachel was unable to have kids. So the Heavenly Father, let's read it. This is Genesis, the 30th chapter, 22nd verse. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her and opened her womb, and she conceived and bare a son, and said, God have taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Yahweh shall add to me another son. All right. The key word is that word reproach. She took it away, taken away her shame. You know. And I think it was the same thing that happened with Moses and his wife. Not Moses, Abraham. Salakia. Abraham and his wife. I believe that was that Sarah? Reproach resting upon condition, shame, disgrace, right? So he took away that disgrace because in the Israelite community, if you don't have a husband, right, or and to bear children or barrenness, then you basically a disgrace, man. All right. That's why it's important to have a husband. You was made to have a husband. Actually, what's this? Ecclesiastes. And we all know women get jealous and envious when they see another woman and they don't have, and they see another woman that had a baby and they don't have one. Right? They call it, get that baby fever. Let's see. Somewhere in here. Is it the 25th? Must be 26. Let's see. There's the 26. Let's see. What I'm looking for. And I think it's down here. All right. Let's go with let's start at the 26th verse. This is Ecclesiastes 26, chapter 26 verse. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for about a dishonest woman. This 24th verse. A dishonest woman contempt with shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, I can't find it right now. But as you can see, it all reverence a woman, having a husband, right? There's the scriptures respect a woman who has a husband, and a woman that respects her husband, right? Feel the Heavenly Father, man. But the point is, a woman will have more than one woman will have one husband, man. All right, it's just that simple, and they're gonna want that husband because of the lack of men, and to not be ashamed, right? And when you go into shame, is basically humiliation. They don't want to be humiliated. They not gonna want to be humiliated. So they're gonna want that husband for security, the lack of a man, and to not be humiliated, man. Because it says in that day, right, during the times of Jacob's trouble, and when the wars are going on, and a lot of men have been, dying. A man of the Lord is going to be, it's like going to be a cover. Let's get it in Isaiah, the 13th chapter. Because it's good to be a shamefaced woman, like, I don't want people to be like, well, the Bible contradicted itself. It says to not be ashamed, and then you got a shamefaced, well, to be a shamefaced. No, the Bible don't contradict itself, because there's different meanings in the word. A shamefaced woman is one who's continent-minded, basically self-exercising self, how could you say it? Exercising her self-will to not give that box up, to not have sex with every man she come across, someone who's modest. That's a continent-minded woman, man. A shame-faced woman, someone who's humble, and who respects her husband. All right. Let's see. This is Isaiah, the 12th chapter. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right. So men in that day is going to be, how could you say it? Priceless, man. All right. He said he's gonna make a man precious like fine gold, man. Rare gold, you know? And then it says we're gonna be a what's that? Let's see, Tempest. What's that scripture? Okay, there we go. It's Isaiah, the 32nd chapter, 2nd verse. I'll start the first verse. This is Isaiah, the 32nd chapter, 1st verse. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. 2nd verse, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right. So in the time of all this, destruction, pestilence, war, famine, right? That man is going to be a cover. He's going to be a cover from those hard times. It says from the tempest, from those stormy days, man. Right? We're going to be a cover to a woman, a man that's going to be a righteous man that's going to be shaped, right, and looked upon as fine gold. That's a man in his truth that know the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right. That's pretty much it on that, Lord willing, till next time. Shalom.